Good morning. Well, happy, I got no idea, Thursday? I think it's Thursday. Let me know when you're logged on. Hello, Sue. How are you guys feeling? What's happening today? Hello. Hi, Nana. Hi, Anya. Hi, guys. Hi, Laura. Hello, Catherine. Hi, Karen. Oh, hi, Katrina on Facebook. How are ya? Good morning, Cynthia. Good morning, Claire. Good morning, everyone. How's it going? Happy Thursday. How are you feeling? Tell me what's going on. Anything you feel like working on today? So we'll wait a couple seconds for everyone. Happy Thursday. Oh yeah, Sue, you're not going on your trip today. Airplane. Yeah, nobody's going anywhere today. Let me know how you're feeling today. Let me know if there's anything you want to work on. Don't mind my dog just drinking very loudly in the background. Everything he does is very loud. A couple things before I forget, just while we wait for everyone to log on. Tonight at 7 p.m. Toronto time, shoulders please, good one. Tonight at 7 p.m. Toronto time, we are doing a high and a stretch class, a deep stretch class, which is funny because people ask for this all the time and I've always refused to do it, but I figure in this format it's a good option. Hi, Ray. So it'll be a 60-minute deep stretch class. So lots of good hamstring stretching, lots of good hip stretching. So that'll be tonight at 7. And as always, the link will stay live on Instagram for 24 hours and up on Facebook indefinitely. Just reading your requests, some arms and upper body can do for sure. And then also just a quick thing to clarify. So we're launching North at Home next week, right? This week we're streaming from the regular Facebook page, the regular Instagram page. Next week on Monday, April 13th, we switch over to the North at Home pages. You need to have joined North at Home to have access to those pages on Mondays. So you can join North at Home. This is gonna go well. You can join North at Home through our website. When you go to our website, you'll see that you can select the day you want your membership to start. So if you've already made a purchase this week and you're due for renewal next week, you can actually start your pass like next Wednesday or Thursday or whatever it is. But you need to join North at Home in order to access in order to access that video content. Could you go over here, please? So make sure that you join North at Home. All of that information is in our Instagram stories and is in a post that I put up yesterday. If you go to our website, you'll see where to join North at Home, weekly or monthly subscription options. Okay. I know. Hi, Colt. Last little thing about that, just to note real quick. If you have already prepaid for a couple weeks, if you can't afford to pay the full amount, please just send me a message and let me know. I understand what that looks like and how that feels. So just let me know and we'll find ways to just make it work for everyone. Okay. So we're gonna start today actually standing. I saw a request for some upper body stuff. We'll do a little bit of that later. So just do me a favor, make sure that you've got some weights nearby if you want to use weights. They can be weighted balls, they can be soup cans, they can be wine bottles. People are getting very creative with weights, but we'll use those later. Okay. For now, we're gonna start standing. So my mat is pretty thick, so I'm gonna stand on the floor instead. If you have a thin mat, you can stand on a thin mat. It doesn't really matter, but I want you to stand so that you've got lots of space really all around you. I'm gonna come a little more forward. Nope, I'm gonna move my mat out of the way. Okay, so just stand so that you've got space all around you, when obviously in your own home you might have to pivot and turn and all that stuff. I want you to set yourself up so that your heels, your hips, and the top of your head are all stacked up. Take a second here and just roll your shoulders up to your ears, and then roll your shoulders down your back. You're gonna start here by shifting your weight a little forward, and then you're gonna start by shifting your weight a little back. And then you're gonna shift your weight again forward so your heels kind of lift, and then you're gonna shift your weight a little back so that your toes kind of lift. And I want you to do that, and I want you to think of it as a way of waking up all of the little muscles in your feet and your ankles, but also starting to wake up some of the bigger muscles up the front and the back of the body. And then I want you to start to make the movement smaller and smaller so that you feel less muscles working in order to hold you balanced. Try to find a place where you feel like you're standing with the least amount of effort possible. And then from here, put your hands on your hips. Reach up through the top of your head and take your right foot back behind you. So a little bit of extra weight on the left leg. If you struggle with balance, you're in your home, you can hold on to something, you can grab a roller, use it for a little bit of support. We're gonna work from here just to wake up this left leg. You're gonna lean a little bit forward, doesn't have to be a lot for the first one, and then come back up to stand. And then same again, you're gonna lean a little bit forward. And then you're going to come back up to stand. Now you're just standing tall on the left leg. You hinge from the hips, lean forward, good. And then come back up. And you're going to be holding onto something, lean forward, good. And then come back up. When you try to hinge from the hips, the head comes forward, the leg goes back, good. And then bring it back up. Waking up through the back of the leg. Waking up through the inside line of the leg. Starting to feel a little bit of stability through the outside of the hip. You might feel some muscles in your foot and ankle starting to wake up a little bit too. Let's do a couple more like this again, just hinging forward, good, and then coming back up. Increasing the range here for the last one. Let's hinge a little bit further forward, and then come all the way back up. Shake out that leg if you need to. We'll do the same thing on the second side. So right leg as you're standing, left leg goes behind you. So line from the heel through the hip, through the head, and then again you hinge a little forward, and then rise back up to tall. See how that feels? Hinge again a little forward, good, and then rise back up to tall. Now there's a tendency here when we hinge to kind of collapse the front of the body. Send your ribs a little bit more forward so your spine is a little bit longer. You can have your hands on your hips. You can have your arms alongside your torso. If you're feeling super balanced on this side, you can reach your hands in opposition. But let's just do a couple more here. Whoa, starting to wake up the foot, the ankle, the outer hip, the inner thigh, and the back of the thigh. And then we'll do one more. Last time, a little bit bigger in your range if you can. And then you're going to come all the way back up to stand. Now again, shake out that leg if you need to. Reset standing tall. I'm going to turn so that you can see. You're going to take your right leg back out to the right, or out to the right. Hands on hips again. This time I want you to hinge over the left leg. So the right foot goes right, the head goes a little to the left, and then come back up to stand. Hands are on hips. You're tipping your hips over that left leg, and then coming back up to stand tall. Now, ideally, the right foot doesn't touch the floor at all. If you need a little bit of support for balance, I'm going to show you with a roller here. You can have a roller in front of you. You can hold onto your couch, but try to have your hands just light on whatever you're holding onto so that you're still getting some really good work through the hip. And I like this because it's a nice way to wake up the inner thighs and the outer hip. Nice way to find some lateral support on that standing leg. We don't move a lot in this plane of movement, so it's a nice way to wake up our stabilizing muscles in this plane. How's it going? Okay, a couple more like this. How about two more? Let's hinge from that hip. Anyone feeling an inner thigh stretch? And then come back up. And then hinge from the hip again, good, and then come back up, good. Shake out the leg if you need to. We'll do the same thing second side. Standing on the right foot, good, hands on hips. You're gonna tip your pelvis, and then you're gonna restack to tall, good. And do your first couple here just as an opportunity to kind of wake things up, right? It's a weight shift. You got lots of muscles in your feet and ankle that are having to readjust. And then as you start to get a little bit more comfortable, you can make the movement a little bigger, and then come back up. And then a little bigger again, good. And then come back up. And again, this is all about outer hip, inner thigh, controlling the descent, and then controlling the rise, good. Holding on gracefully to something if you need to. Hands would be light on that surface, good. Let's do two more like this. How's it going? Hinging over, and then rise back up, good. And then hinging over, good. And then rising back up, good. Just waking up all of those muscles around the hips. I'm gonna move my roller out of the way. You're gonna stand on your mat now. So you've got lots of space in front of you, okay? Can you see me? Yes. So find that same place, right, where you're standing evenly on your feet. Feels like the least amount of effort required to stand tall. You're going to sweep both of your arms up to the ceiling for an inhale. Hinge from your hips and dive down to the ground. Drop your head, drop your hands, really let your head go here. You're gonna bend both of your knees and then stretch both legs a little straighter. And then bend both of your knees and then stretch both legs a little straighter. You can have your elbows held here if that feels good to you, just letting the upper arms hang. You can take the hands to the back of your head if that gives you a little extra stretch. We're just gonna do one more like that. Bend both knees, good. And then from here, you're gonna walk forward onto all fours. Hands are gonna be right under shoulders. I think I walked a little too far forward. Hands are gonna be right under shoulders. Knees are gonna be right under hips. From here, the top of your head reaches forwards. Your tailbone, the bottom of your spine reaches back. You're gonna focus on your pelvis, super neutral here. I want you to slide your right leg, I'm gonna move actually, I want you to slide your right leg out to straight. From here, lift that leg, but don't move your pelvis. It should feel like some work for that glute. And then tuck that leg back underneath you. Other side, slide out, and then lift, good. And then tuck the leg back underneath you. So it's super slow here. It's super deliberate. It's kind of like two parts. Straighten first, lift second, and then one action to tuck in. Straighten first, lift from the glute, and then tuck back in. Straighten, good. The glute hinges the leg up, good. And then come back in. I want you to make sure that as you lift the leg, you're not breaking in your back. As you lift your leg, you're lifting right from the base of the bum. We're gonna add on one little piece. As the leg goes up and back, I need a wider lens here. As the leg goes up and back, the opposite hand is gonna come forward, and you're gonna tuck that all back up and in. So same as before, the leg goes long, the hand goes forward, lift, good, and then tuck it all back in. I'm gonna move so that I can actually move here. So straighten and lift, good, and then come back in. How's it going? So far, so good. If you need to take a break off of your hands, please do. If you want to modify and do this from your elbows, you're sure welcome to. Next time that you've got the right leg straight, long, and lifted, and the left hand up, let's hold. Reset, ribs lifted. Try to rock that right shoulder away from your ear. You're gonna lean your weight a little forward and right, and then lean your weight a little back and left. Lean your weight forward and right, and then sit back and left. So it's a diagonal lean forward over the hand, and then sink back over the heel. Lean forward over the hand, and then sink back over the heel. The hip. One more time, come forward. Good. One more time, go back. I'm gonna guess it's the heel too. Come back to the middle, good, and then tuck that all back underneath you. Reset here, ribs lifted. Let's slide the left leg out to long. Slide the right hand forward, good. Lift the limbs, strong core. Find that lean forward and left, and then sit back and right. Now when you come forward over the left shoulder, you want to wake up all the muscles around the left shoulder. When you sink back over the right hip, it's a little bit of stretch and a little bit of stability. So forward and left, and then back and right. Forward and left, good. And then back and right, good. One more time, let's go forward and left, good. Sink into that right hip. Sunk a little too far there. Tuck that all back underneath you. Round your back and roll all the way up to kneel tall. Now go ahead and grab weights for your hands if you want for this. You're gonna open both of your arms out to a T. From here, you're gonna take a big sweeping side bend up and over one way, and then come back up to tall. Big sweeping side bend up and over the other way, good, and then come back up to tall. We've done lots of work here to wake up the muscles around your hips. Think of this as a way to wake up the muscles all around the ribs. Inhale to go over, and then exhale to come up, good. Inhale to go over, good, and then exhale to come up. So you got one more time each way, trying to reach a little further, good, and then rise. Reach a little further, good, and then rise. I think we'll do one more just for fun. Reach a little further, good, and then come back up. Pause. With weights in your hands or not, palms are facing forward. From here, you're gonna find a lateral shift one way, and then a lateral shift the other way. Sliding the whole rib cage one way, sliding the whole rib cage the other way. Switch, and then switch, good, and then switch. Neck is long, shoulders are down. Let's switch 5, 4. How's it going? 3, 2, and then 1. Let's pause in the middle. Think about your ribs, and I mean this in a good way, like broad. Usually that's not desirable, but at this stage, like broad ribs to support your arms with palms facing forward. Circle the arms. Circle, good, and then circle. So your rib cage is supporting the shoulder girdle, good. Your neck is long, and your palms are just facing straight forward. The whole shoulder girdle is going to move here. So the collarbone moves, the shoulder blade moves, but it doesn't mean that you get this like whole rigmarole thing happening here, okay? Keep the ribs steady, good. Keep the neck long. Let's switch the direction. How's it going? Circle, good, and then circle. Nice work, guys. And then circle, good. Long neck, good. Lifted eyes. 5, 4, good. Breathing 3, 2, and then 1. Let's bring both arms up to the ceiling. Good. You're going to dive your hands down to the ground. Now, use a weight for this or not. I'm going to grab my little twosie here. So you can use a weight, you can use a soup can, you can use nothing. That's great too. We're going to go, what arm is this? Right arm alongside your torso. Wrap that shoulder onto your back. Slide the left leg out to long. Lift that leg up in line with your spine. So same work as before. It's the glute that hinges the leg up. Your core stays strong. The right arm makes a slow little lift. Good. Little lift. How's it going? Top of the head reaches forward. Ribs are lifted. Lift that arm slow. Just waking up the back of the shoulder, good, and the back of the arm. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's hold. Let's draw a little circle. Again, waking up the back of the arm, waking up the back of the shoulder. When you circle here, make sure you're not circling the whole shoulder girdle. This time it's just the arm. Upper arm bone turns, good, and then turns. Reset the lift of your ribs, good. Reset the strength of your core. Let's switch the direction. Circle, good, and then circle, good. Back of the arm should be waking up. Feel free to ditch the ball if you need to. Let's circle in this direction. 5, 4, 3, good, 2, and then 1. Put that weight down on the floor. Tuck your limbs back underneath you. Roll yourself up to kneel tall. From here, left leg stays where it is, right foot steps forward. You want your right heel right under your right knee. Top of the head rises up. Let's put hands on head here. I want you to rise up through your head. You're going to take a side bend, a little side bend to the right, and then come back up to tall. Again, to the right, and then come back up to tall. I'm going to turn to show you. Maybe I'm going to move Colt out of the way. When you take your side bend to the right, I want you to make sure that you're not kicking your hips to the left. When you take your, really, when you take your side bend to the right, I don't even know why I'm demonstrating this right now. Just don't kick the hips to the right, to the left. Got it? Oh, thanks, Colt. So side bend over, don't kick the hips. You want to find that support from the outer hip, kind of that work we were doing at the beginning of the class. Tall through your spine. Tip over, good. And then come back up. It's not going to end well. Tip over, excuse me, and then come back up, good. One more time, tip over, good, and then come back up, pause, good. You're going to work from here to take your hands back to your mat. You're going to step that right leg back underneath you, turn your toes under, and come on up into a downward facing dog. How's it going, guys? In your downward facing dog, come up onto your tippy toes. Bend one knee, let the other heel drop to the floor. And then switch, good. And then switch, nice work, guys. And then switch. You're gonna switch 5, 4, good. Breathing 3, 2, and then 1. Stamp the heels down, send your bum back a little further, and then just shift your weight a little one way, and then shift your weight a little the other way. Shift your weight a little one way, and then shift your weight a little the other way. And then settle your weight again so it's balanced between your feet. Come up onto your tippy toes, bend your knees, and lower your knees down to your mat. Round your back, you're gonna roll up. I'm gonna recommend one weight for each hand for this. You're gonna kneel up tall. I haven't forgotten your other side, don't worry. Arms come out to a T. I want you to take your side bend up and over. From here, though, you're gonna round your spine, flex your spine, come to the middle, restack in the middle, stretch the arms out to a T. Side bend over, reach a little further, round your back, flex your spine, rise to tall, stretch the arms to a T. So you side bend, you forward bend, you restack, reach the arms out. Side bend, forward bend, restack, and rise up. I kind of feel like it feels like a little bit of a massage in my upper back. Anyone else feel the massage in the upper back? One more, side bend over, restack to tall. Stay tall in the middle here. We're gonna send the hands forwards, push the ribs back. And then we're gonna send the hands back, slide the ribs forward. Send the hands forward, push the ribs back. And then send the hands back, slide the chest forward. See if you can look down to the floor here for a little stretch, extra stretch in your upper back. And then look up to the ceiling here for a little extra lift through the ribs. One more time, reach a little further. One more time, reach a little further back. And then let's park it in the middle and hold. Tall through your spine, lifted through your eyes. Palms are facing the ceiling here. You're gonna put a baby little bend in both elbows. Straighten your arms fully. Straighten, good. Straighten, good. Straighten. Eyes up, shoulders down. It's small and it's quick. Now remember here, when you do this, you want to avoid holding on from the neck. Drop the shoulders, good. Lift the eyes, straighten, straighten, good. Straighten. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then hold. You're gonna angle your arms in halfway, right? So not straight forward in front of you, not fully out to a T, like what angle? 45 degrees here. Same again, straighten, straighten, good, straighten. Long neck, good, lifted eyes, straighten, good, straighten, good, straighten. Avoid leaning back here. There's a tendency to lean back a little. Stay way up on your knees. Oh my God, Colt, what happened? 5, 4, good. Breathe, 3, 2, and then 1. Let's sweep both arms all the way up to the ceiling. You're gonna ditch the ball that was in your right hand or the prop that was in your right hand. I'm gonna turn so that you can see. Left arm alongside your torso, left palm faces the ceiling, left arm is gonna start to make that slow little lift. As left arm makes the little lift, your right leg can be up and back. Colt lost his Kong under the couch, so just be prepared for my couch to be pushed across the room any second now. Slow and steady, lift, good, and then lift, good, and then lift. Can you hear that fantastic sound? Colt, what's happening, bud? Lift, good, and then lift, good, and then lift, good. Straight arm, good, long spine, ribs out. 5, 4, 3, good, 2, and then hold. You're gonna start a little circle, little circle. Now ditch the ball if you need to. It's better to go less weight and better form. Less weight and better form, meaning you don't want to have the shoulder up at the ear, good. You want to make sure you're still breathing. Let's switch the direction. Circle, good, and then circle, good, and then circle. 5, 4, 3, good, 2, and then 1. Tuck that all back underneath you. Round your back and roll up. Last piece here. Right leg stays where it is. Left foot steps forward. Remember, you're tall on the right thigh. Hands on the top of the head. Rise up into the top of your head. And then take a little dip down with that left elbow. And then rise back up to tall. A little dip down with that left elbow, good, and then come back up to tall. I'm going to turn so that you can see. Again, the idea here is that you side bend without kicking the hips out. So it actually requires a lot of stability around the pelvis and then a lot of control through the upper part of your core. Inhale to tip over, good, and then exhale to come up. Inhale again to tip over, good, and then exhale to come up. One more time, let's tip over, good. Come back up, nice work, guys. Tuck the knee back underneath you, arms to the ceiling. Dive your hands down to your mat. One more, downward facing dog. Pressing down with both of your hands, lifting up through your hips. Take a break if you need to. You've done lots of dynamic movement to start the class today, so take a pause if you need to. But if you'd like to add on, you're gonna come forward into a plank. Straight long line, heels through hips, through top of head. Push the floor away from you with your hands. Good. Reset, ribs lifted. It's a teeny tiny little action here. Take it or leave it. One hip bone roll slightly higher, and then the other hip bone roll slightly higher. A little rotation, a little twist, okay? Now you're not dropping the hips, right? It's not a full drop here. Just the tiniest little lift. Little lift, good. Little lift. Waking up through core, good. Lifted through ribs. Steady through the upper back. Let's switch for 5, 4. Breathing 3, 2, and then 1. Reset. Send the hips up to the ceiling. Nice work, guys. Walk your feet up to your hands. Take lots of little steps to get there. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And then go ahead and drop your head, drop your hands. Hopefully feel like you have a little extra stretch already, a little extra length of the backs of the legs. As a transition here, you're gonna have a little seat in a squat. If squatting doesn't work for you for whatever reason, feel free to skip the squat. If squatting does work for you, just pause for a little extra sec, shift your weight a little bit from side to side. You have the option of squatting with the head dropped for a little extra stretch in the upper back. Or you can squat with your chest lifted. That'll give you a little extra stretch in the hips. The legs can be turned out. The heels can be lifted. That doesn't matter to me. Just if it hurts your knees, just have a seat on the floor already. Have a seat on the floor now. This is what I miss about real life, is that when I can't remember a word, which happens all the time, nobody can help me. I just can't remember the word. Anyway, have a seat on your bum. Slide your legs out to long in front of you. I want to sit so that you can see me. Grab your weights if you want to use them, one weight in each hand or not. You're going to sit with your legs out long in front of you. We're going to wake up core here a little bit more. So sit tall for an inhale, arms up to shoulder height. With an exhale here, zip your abs in and start to roll back a little bit. Now when you roll back a little bit here, you've got your hips and ribs close. You've got your low tummy muscles pulled in. Your eyes are lifted, good. Shoulders away from ears, good. Drop your spine a little lower. And then exhale, drop your spine a little lower, good. And then exhale, drop your spine a little lower, good. And then you're gonna use your abs to roll all the way back up to sit tall. Reset at the top, try to get a little taller. Inhale, good. With your exhale, zip your abs in, good. Drop a little lower. Drop a little lower, good. Drop a little lower, good. Let's go a little bit lower, good. And then you know what? Let's go crazy. Let's go a little bit lower, good. And then you can use your abs to come all the way back up to sit tall. One more like that just to get your spine super prepped. Inhale, let's sit tall, good. Exhale, zip your abs in, good. Start to roll back, good. Roll lower, good. Roll lower, good. Lower, good. Let's keep going lower. A little lower, good. A little lower, good. And then from here, abs bring you all the way back up to sit tall. Reset at the top, inhale, good. Exhale, zip your abs in, good. This time you're gonna roll back, and I say roll back to a place that's comfortably uncomfortable, okay? Hips and ribs close, knees soft, legs right together here, toes a little bit pointed. With weights in your hands, without weights in your hands, open both of your arms out a little, and then bring them back in. Open both of your arms out a little, good, and then bring them back in. Now when the hands go out, there's a tendency for the head to come forward. Keep your head up, eyes up, open, and then close. Open, good, and then close. A couple more times, open, good, and then close, good, and then open, and then close, good. You're gonna stay in the center, open one arm, and then center, good. Open the other arm, good, and then center, good. Open, and then close, good. Open, good, and then close, good. Let's hold the right arm out next time it's there, and then make the smallest little pulse out. 5, 4, good. 3, 2, and then 1. Sweep it back, left arm out, little pulse. 5, 4, eyes forward. 3, good. 2, and then 1. Both hands forward, good. Roll all the way back up. Nice work, guys, to sit tall. Up at the top, you're gonna bend both knees, good. Take your feet so they're extra wide apart, and then tip both of your knees to your right. Okay, both knees go to the right. If this is tight on your hips, that's okay. If it's pinchy on your knees, find a position that works best for you, better for you. You're gonna sit up tall. Maybe you have a weight in your left hand here, arms to a T. We're just gonna do a couple. Big reach up and over for a super yummy side bend. And then come all the way back up to sit. I'm gonna turn this way so you can see a little better. So you're gonna side bend up and over. Maybe there's a weight in this hand. Reach a little further, spin your chest to the floor, good. And then come back up, good. And then one more time, aim your right hand further back behind you. Reach with the left arm, reach further, good. And then from here, you're gonna come all the way back up to tall, just 3. We're gonna switch to the second side. I gotta pivot this way so I remember which way I'm going. Left leg turned out, right leg turned in. I feel like this is not gonna work super well. Why do you want to be right there? Hi, can you move a little? Thank you. Let's do those 3 side bends. Have you already done 3? Inhale to go up and over, good. And then exhale to come back up to tall. For the record, I did not give him this Kong this morning. He pulled it out of his toy bin. I am well aware that this Kong and this class don't go well together. Let's go over and hold at an extra little curve through the ribs. Reach a little further. And then you're going to come all the way back up to tall. How's it going? Legs come back out in front of you. You're going to sit up tall again. Arms up to shoulder height. Inhale. Good. With your exhale, tuck your pelvis and start to roll back a little. Okay, so weights in your hands or not. Hips and ribs close for sure. Knees soft, abs strong. So a bit of a deja vu. You're going to open both of your arms. This time as the hands come forwards, I want you to come up a little higher. Open both of your arms. Drop your spine a little lower. And then curl higher, sweep the hands forward. Inhale as you open, and then exhale as you close. Inhale as you open, and then exhale as you close. Now as you move here, I want you to make sure that you're not like overworking the arms. It's not the arms that pull you up. It's almost like this wrap from the back of the body that pulls you up. Inhale, open, good. Exhale, curl. Inhale, open. Try to find a little bit more armpit to curl up. You guys know how much I love talking about armpit muscles. Let's do 3 more, starting now. Inhale, back, good. Exhale, wrap from the back of the body, come up. Inhale, drop, good. Exhale, curl up. One more time, inhale, drop, good. Let's exhale, curl up, hold. Let's stay in the center now. From here, you're gonna drop your spine lower again. Roll your spine higher. Drop your spine lower. Good. Roll your spine higher. Let's add the arms. As you come up, the hands go up. As you drop, the hands go down. Come up, the hands go up. Drop the spine, the hands come down. Inhale up. And then exhale down. Good. Inhale up. Good. Exhale down. We'll do 3 more, but let's make them a little bigger. Come up a little higher. Drop down a little lower. Come up a little higher. Good. Drop down a little lower. One more time. Up a little higher. Good. Drop low. Hold. With heavy heels, you're going to go back into your back. 5. Breathing 4. Good. 3. Nice work, guys. 2. And then all the way back into your back. So nice for 1. Head down, hands back. Take a breath in. And then take a breath out. I'm going to scooch so that you can see me. I'm going to peel a layer off. I'm like sweating profusely over here. I love it. So, was that gross? Sorry, guys. It's true though. Gets you all hot doing all that core work. Okay, so lying on your back, you're going to set yourself up with knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Do a little bit more ab work, your hands behind your head. Fingers interlace here at the base of your skull. Lift your elbows up a little. Draw your chin in a little, and then pick up your head and curl forward so that you're looking towards your legs. Space between chin and chest. Little bit of a curve in your lower back so lower back isn't flat to the floor. You're going to open your knees out to their sides, a little extra stretch in the inner thighs. As you zip your legs together, I want you to curl a little higher. Inhale, open the knees, uncurl, and then exhale, close the knees, recurl. Inhale, open and uncurl, and then exhale, curl, zip the legs together. Uncurl, and then recurl. I just want you to make sure your head is supported by your hands the whole way through. I want you to make sure that you're not yanking, you're not pulling on your head, so you're not getting any of this over chin to chest. You really want to curl, you want to hinge from the base of the ribs. Inhale to go back, good, and then exhale to curl and close. Inhale to go back, good. And then exhale, curl and close. One more time, inhale, back, good. Let's exhale, curl, close, hold. Curl up a little higher. Watch your pelvis here. One knee opens, bring it back to center. Other knee opens, bring it back to center. Open, and then close, good. Open, good, and then close. And I want you to make sure that your pelvis isn't moving. Hip bone stays square to the ceiling, good. Torso does not move. Just a slow open and close. Open, good, and then close. Lots of good work for like the deep core muscles. Lots of really good organization for deep inside your abdominal core. If you need to put your head down for whatever reason, postnatal mamas, this would be a good option for you. Please feel free to have your head down. If you'd like to add on, we're gonna do one more to each side, then curl higher, then bring the right leg up for tabletop. It's gonna be a little bit of a sloppy tabletop. I want the knee pointing to the ceiling, but the foot can dangle. And then the leg is gonna start to draw a little circle. Circle, good, and then circle. And as the leg circles, I want you to make sure that your hip bones are staying square. Now the work here is in the details, because you can circle your leg and move your pelvis and probably not feel that much. Or you can circle your leg and really anchor your pelvis, and then it's like fire all around your core. Now you're welcome to keep circling like that. You're welcome to pick up the left leg as well. If the left leg is lifted, the left leg still doesn't move, but you're gonna feel even more work in your core. Sloppy tabletops here as you circle that right leg for 3, for 2, good, and then 1. Let's plant both feet, take the tiniest little pause, head down. Inhale, 1 breath in, and then exhale right back up into your curl. The left leg comes up for that sloppy tabletop, so the knee points to the ceiling, the foot dangles, and then again circle the leg. Use your right hand, sometimes it's helpful. Anchor that right hip bone as the leg circles. Again, it's easy to circle the leg and let the whole pelvis move. This does not feel like anything really except for neck strain, to be honest. But if you curl high and anchor that right hip, then holy moly, all around the core works so hard to keep you balanced. You can pick up the left foot, right foot, have it in a sloppy tabletop as you circle the leg, and then circle the leg. You can definitely do this with the head down and still feel that same really good lateral core work. It's the lateral core work that's important here. Let's bring both legs back into still. Let's put both feet back on the floor. A small little uncurl again, just to rest the head. Again, 1 full breath in. And then 1 deep breath out, you're right back up into your curl. Curl up a little higher. Pull in through your abs. Bring the right leg up for a real, no more sloppy tabletop. So knee over hip, lower leg in line with the floor. Curl up a little higher. Start to slide that foot forward. And then bring it back in. With an exhale, slide that foot forward, good, and then bring it back in. Again, option is always to have the head down. It's a little less intense on core, a little better if you're a new mama. Option to have the head up. Option to have the left leg lifted, but if the left leg is lifted, make sure it does not move at all. There's a tendency for the left leg to counterbalance. I want you to make sure that left leg is not moving at all. Next time the right leg is out, hold it there. The right leg draws a little circle, good, little circle. Left foot on the floor is going to make this significantly easier. Head down is going to make it a little bit more user-friendly for some of you, but right leg is still circling. Up in the curl or not, left leg up or not. Let's circle 5, 4, good. That left leg is steady. 3, good. 2, and then 1. Zip it in. Feet to the floor for a tiny pause. Again, the head comes down. We'll take 1 breath in, and then we're going to exhale and come right back up into the curl. Left leg up, pelvis stays steady. Left foot forward, and then bring it back in. You can't see anything on Facebook. I'm so sorry. Left foot forward, good, and then bring it back in. Can you even see my legs at all on Facebook? Sorry, I wasn't paying any attention. Just really liking the ab work. Okay, option to have that right leg up for a real tabletop or not. Option to have the head down if that feels better for you. Wherever you are, pelvis is neutral, good. Both sides of the waist long. Let's hold that left leg straight and then from the top of the thigh down, circle, good, and then circle up. Now sometimes you get better work in your core with the right foot down and really focusing on keeping the pelvis stable. If the right leg is up and your whole pelvis is rocking, we're not going to get great work through your abs, okay? You're going to circle for 3, good, a last count, 2, good, and then 1, let's pull the leg in, good. Lower your feet to the floor, so nice, guys. Uncurl your spine. I'm right off of my mat. You're gonna rest your head back down. How are abs feeling? Fine? No problem? All right. From here, you're gonna have your feet flat on the floor. You're gonna have your arms down at your sides. Have we even done a pelvic tilt yet today? Let's do it. You're gonna round and arch your lower back. On Facebook, can you see me? I'm gonna do one little thing on Facebook. So rounding and arching through your lower back. Hi, sorry guys, come with me. I think this is a little better. Use your inhale as you turn your tail down. Use your exhale as you curl your tail up. Do that a couple more times, inhaling as your tail turns down, and then exhaling as your tail curls up. And then next time that your lower back is rounded to the floor, press down into your feet, lift your hips, and peel on up. Long diagonal line, knees through hips through shoulders. Keep the ribs heavy and down. Take a breath in, and then exhale from here. Roll down through your spine, bone by bone, good, by bone. At the bottom, let your lower back arch for an inhale. With your exhale, round your back, good. Press into your feet. You've already done lots of work for the back of the pelvis, so use those muscles. Send your hips up high. Inhale at the top, lift the hips a little higher, and then exhale from here. You're gonna roll down, bone, good, by bone, good, by bone. I feel like this is like the nicest thing ever for the spine. Do it a couple more times, slow and steady, trying to find that extra work through the back of the pelvis, trying to find this lovely length up and down through the spine. Maybe we'll do 2 or 3 more, but then it's right back to work. So how about the next time you're up, you stay up, okay? Next time you're up, you're gonna hold up. So again, power from the back of the pelvis, good. Drop down through the base of the ribs, broad through your collarbones, arms heavy at your sides. Use your arms to help you here. You're gonna stand into one foot. See if you can bring the other leg up for tabletop, and then lower that foot back down. Stand into that foot, bring the other leg up for tabletop, good, and then lower the foot back down. Side to side, you're gonna shift into the standing leg, lift the gesture leg, lower back down. Switch that, shift, and then lift, good, and then lower back down. And I think what's important here is to really plant into the standing leg so the gesture leg can lift with ease. Really push into the foot that's on the floor. Glutes and hamstrings are already set. The other leg just floats right up. And if it doesn't work to fully lift the leg, just lift a heel, right? You could do like a shift to the left, lift the right heel, and then a shift to the right, lift the left heel, and then eventually that shift turns into a little bit of a hover, and then eventually that leg's just gonna float right on up to tabletop. Just floats right up, pops right up, okay? Let's stand on the right leg and bring the left leg up and hold. Keep your hip bones square to the ceiling, good. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Your, oh my God, what leg is this? Left leg is gonna come into that sloppy tabletop position, and then you're gonna circle the knee. Circle, good, and then circle. And just like when we're doing that ab work, I want you to make sure you're circling the leg without letting the pelvis move. You should feel a lot of good work around the right hip. Circle that knee, 4, 3, good, 2, and then hold. Kick the foot to the ceiling. Hello, hamstrings. Your whole pelvis drops, and then your whole pelvis lifts. Your whole pelvis drops, and then your whole pelvis lifts. If this is too much, have that left heel. My left heel is off of the floor, but I can still push from the left ball of the foot. Favor that right glute. Let's go up and down. 3, 2, good. And then you're gonna hold at the top. Little bonus round for you. That straight leg draws a circle. Circle, good. Circle, good. Send that right hip higher. Send that left hip higher, good. Drop those shoulders. 3, good. 2, and then hold. From here, you're gonna roll down super slowly, bone, good. butt bone, good, butt bone. That left foot is still lifted, whatever that looks like for you. The right knee stays bent. The left leg goes long to the floor. So right knee bent, left leg long to the floor, arms up to the ceiling. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Reach one hand a little higher, and then reach the other hand a little higher. Reach and turn, good. Reach and turn. Anchored through the legs, pliable through the ribs. Let's just switch for 3, 2, and then 1. Both arms equally long, as gracefully as possible, and I mean that. Nod the chin, pick up the head, start to curl up. And if you get a little stuck, walk the right foot a little more forward. You're going to reach a little with your hands, but not over pull with the shoulders. Good. Pull in through your abs. Go for grace here. You're going to roll yourselves all the way up. Nice work, guys. Just sit tall. You get stuck along the way, rock, roll. Do whatever you've got to do to come up. Right knee stays bent. Left leg stays long. Arms are up at shoulder height. Inhale. Exhale. Tuck your pelvis. Start to roll back a little. Drop the shoulders, lift the eyes, weights in your hands if you want. I don't know why I just have one weight here, but weights in your hands if you want. You're going to keep the ribs square. Open the right arm, don't move the ribs. Come back slow. Open the left arm, don't move the ribs. Good, come back slow. We did this before. It's a little different with the knees, the legs, these things in this configuration. Good, a couple more times. Open and then close. Open, good, and then close, and then your changes, you're going to open and twist, hello, and then bring it back to center. You're going to open and twist, turn the ribs, good, come back to center. Inhale, twist, and then exhale, center, good. Inhale, reach, good, and then exhale, center. A couple more times, reach a little further, good, back to center. Reach a little further, good, back to center. One more to each side, twist, good, come back, good, and then twist again, good, back to the center, good, open both arms and hold. Am I a weirdo? Because I feel like that feels good. Anyone else kind of think it feels good? Keep the arms wide, good, keep your heels heavy. You're going to go back onto your back, breathing fat, heavy heels, 4. Drop the shoulders, 3, good, long neck, 2, and then so sad already, all the way back onto your back. You can reach the legs long, reach the hands back. 1 breath in, 1 breath out. And then bend your knees, place your feet flat. Arms down at your sides, heels under knees. Do a couple little pelvic tilts, rounding and arching your lower back. And then when you're ready, maybe 1 more each way, you're going to round your back and hold. Push down into your feet. Use your glutes and hamstrings here. You're going to peel on up through your spine. So same as before, bum up, knees reaching forward. A little more weight in your toes is going to get your hamstrings extra active. Let's do it side to side a couple times. You're going to stand into one foot, so really push into the foot, activate the glute. The other leg just floats right up for tabletop. Lower that foot back down. So stamp left, feel that left footprint, press into the floor, the right leg floats up, and then lower that foot back down. So you stamp down to lift up, and then lower back down. Press down to lift up, and then lower back down. Use your arms to help you. Broad through your collarbones, heavy through the backs of your arms. The more you press with the backs of your arms, the more you get this connection through the lats to the opposite glutes, like a sling that runs through the back of the body. Left leg is going to be the standing leg. Right leg is going to come up. We're going to hold here. Send the hips a little higher. Press with the arms. Part 1 here. You're going to have your knee in a sloppy tabletop, and then circle the knee. Circle, good, and then circle. If it's too much to have the foot lifted, just do like a mini, it's not really a circle, it's more like an open and close with the foot down, okay? Let's circle that like 3, 2, good, and then 1. Hold in the center, kick the foot to the ceiling. Your whole pelvis drops, and then your whole pelvis lifts. Your whole bum drops, and then your whole bum lifts. You can definitely do this with the right foot on the floor. Just have that right heel lifted and favor that left glute. Up and down, 5. Lift higher, 4. Good. Keep reaching forward with that left knee for more work through the left glute and hamstring. I lost count, like, I know it's 2, but let's do 3. Oh, now it's even more. 2, good. And then let's hold, grand finale. That leg draws a circle. Circle, good. And then circle. So you want the hips up, the ribs down. Circle from the top of the thigh. 3, 2, and then hold. Keep the leg lifted. Take your time. Articulate down through your spine, bone by bone. Good. By bone. Bum comes down. The right leg anchors to the floor. Your arms rise to the ceiling. Reach one hand a little higher, and then reach the other hand a little higher. Does this feel like a massage in your upper back or what? Rock through the ribs. Reach a little further. 3, 2, and then 1. Drop the shoulders, anchor your heels, nod your chin. Now your hands are going to reach forward, but they reach forward without the shoulders rounding forward. Pull in through your abs. You want to find this articulation through your spine, the strength through your core that pulls you up to sit tall. If you got lost, come on up however you can. Keep your legs out in front of you. Right leg long, left knee bent, arms up to shoulder height. Inhale. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and start to roll back a little. So again, the hips and ribs close. Eyes up, chin up, weights in your hands. Not in my hand, or not. Drop your shoulders, lift your eyes. You're going to work from here to take one arm out to the side and then pull it back to center. Other arm out to the side and then back to center. Now part 1 of this, the ribs don't move. Part 1 of this, the eyes look straight forward. Your heels are heavy. Your pelvis is neutral. And again, your spine is really quiet. Open and then close. And then last one like that, open, good, and then close. And now it's that twist. Open the arm, twist to it, good. Come back slow. Open your arm, twist to it, good. Come back slow. Let's inhale, open, and then exhale, close, good. Inhale, twist, good, and then exhale, center. And I'm not even joking, I actually feel like this feels good on my ribs. My obliques are working for sure, like core is working a lot, but my ribs are like, thank goodness, movement, I love it. You've got 1 more to each side, starting now. Inhale, twist, exhale, center. Inhale, twist, good. Exhale, center, hold. Open both hands, anchor both heels, and then take your time. You gotta breathe as you roll back. Bone, good. By bone, nice work, guys. By bone, so nice. Go long with the legs, reach back with your hands. Take a breath in. And then take a breath out. How are you feeling? How's it going? We're gonna do the tiniest little bit of work face down. So flip on over, a little bit of work for upper back. You don't need, you have your weighted balls nearby. I'm obviously undecided. So you're gonna set yourself up, take your weighted balls if you want them, okay? You're gonna set yourself up with your forehead down on your mat. I'm gonna have my head lifted because you can hear me better, but have your forehead down on your mat. You can put a towel under your mat, under your forehead. You can fold up your mat, but have your forehead down. Elbows are gonna be bent, hands tucked under your shoulders. Give your hips a really good wiggle here. Let go of any tension in your lower back. Let your pelvis, the bones of the front of your pelvis, settle to your mat. And then really drop your hips, shake up the legs. Let your legs be steady. And now roll your shoulder blades down and together on your back. So the feeling of drawing your collarbones really broad. You're gonna work from here to hover your head just so that your nose clears your mat. So the tiniest little lift here. And then float your hands up off of the floor. Okay, so you can have weights in your hands here or not, doesn't matter to me. The top of your head is reaching straight forward. Your nose is literally just like you could slide a piece of paper between your nose and your mat. And then you're gonna work from here to take both of your arms and reach them out to a T. And then you're gonna bend them straight back in. Take both of your arms, reach them out to a T, good. And then bring them straight back in. Go out slow, good. And then really bend, squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back. Reach out. And then again, bend, squeeze the elbows behind the back. Now your head has to stay low the whole way through. There's a bit of a tendency here to sneak up. As you sneak up, that puts work in the lower back, which is fine if you want that. I don't want that though. I want all this work in your upper back. You'll feel it. The lower your head is, the more demand this is for your shoulder girdle and upper back, and that's what I want. Now listen carefully. Pull the arms in, hold. Now so you start to reach your hands forward to the upper corners of your mat, and then pull your arms back in. Forward to the upper corners of your mat, good. And then come back in. reach out. And then same idea, really squeeze the elbows in. Easy to go out, effort to come in. Again, the head is still low, good. Your lower back is quiet. We're gonna start to change it up a little bit. Each time, try to slide your hands out at a slightly different angle. So we did straight out at 90 degrees. We did straight forward in front of you. Try to find all the little angles in between. So one time, take them out a little further forward. One time, take them straight forward. Each time, just a slightly different angle out. So you're working slightly different muscles to squeeze the shoulder blades back in. Easy to go out, effort to come in. Easy to go out, good, and then effort to come back in. If you were drawing lines on the floor, you would have as many different lines out here from your torso. It would be quite a beautiful little piece of art. Let's hold the arms in, and then lower your arms, lower your head, take a little pause. You're gonna rotate your head so you've got one ear down on your mat. If you're lucky, you're gonna feel a really good stretch in your neck. And then just lift your head up and flip your ear the other way. Take a breath in, take a breath out, and then you're gonna roll your head right back to the middle. Okay, with weights in your hands or not, same as before, roll the shoulders back, small, tiny little hover of the head. You might actually like it better with your head down, but I really want your head low here so you're not overworking through the bottom of the spine. Lift your hands up and hold. From here, one hand's gonna reach forward. As it reaches forwards, I want you to let it kind of cross your midline. So it's a really big reach. See how I'm kind of taking a bit of side bend? And then pull it back in. Other hand, reach, pull it across the midline, good. And then come back in. Reach, try to reach further, good. And then pull back in. Reach even further, good. And then come back in. Now again, the head is staying low here as you reach across the midline. The ribs are sliding from side to side. It's a little bit of a side bend. Let's reach across, good. Bring it back in slow. Reach across, good. Bring it back in slow. Couple more times, side to side. Again, I kind of feel like this feels good. It's a nice way to reach, and that's a nice way to strengthen. So you get that rib mobility and that shoulder strength, good. Let's do it 2 more times each side. Reach and side bend, good. Come back in. Reach and side bend, good. Effort to come in. Last time each side. And then right back to the middle, good. Lower that all back down. So nice, guys. Leave the weights on the floor if you're using them. Come up onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, good. Knees under hips. Take your time here. Round your back. Drop your head. Look at your legs. And then reverse the curve of your spine and slowly go the other way. Did a lot of work there for the back of the body, but lots of sort of stabilization work through the torso, lots of hip mobility work today, lots of shoulder stuff, we just did a lot of stuff. So take an extra pause here along the way if you need to. If you want to give your back a little extra stretch, stay there a little longer. If you want to give your front a little extra stretch, same thing, stay a little longer. Feel free to add a curve one way, a little any other way. And the next time that you're in the middle, you're gonna hold. Reset your head forward. Reset your ribs lifted. Turn your toes under. Push into your hands and hover your knees. Top of your head reaches forward. Tailbone reaches back. Ribs are lifted. Core is strong. You're gonna take your right foot here. Tap to the back of your mat. And then bring it back in. Take the left foot, tap it to the back of your mat, good. Bring it back in, pause. Right foot's gonna tap out to the right. Can you see my foot there? Just barely, bring it back in. Left foot's gonna tap out to the left. Now you can see it, bring it back in. So we go straight back and then in, good. Straight back, good, and then in, good. Side, and then in, good. Side, good, and then in. Now you can go back, have the foot off of the floor. Bring it back in. Back foot off of the floor. Good. Bring it back in. You can go side. My foot's not touching the floor. That's way harder. Bring it back in. Side, the foot's off of the floor. Good. Bring it back in. Again, tap and reach. Come back in. Straight back and reach. Good. Come back in. Side, maybe the foot is lifted. Come back in. Side, maybe the foot is lifted. Good. Come back in. This time, let's take one foot back, foot to the floor. Other foot back, foot to the floor. Here you are in a plank. Hold and breathe. Modify for elbows down if you need to. Good. Top of the head reaches forwards. Take it or leave it. Can your right foot tap out to the right? Bring it back in. Left foot out to the left. Good. Bring it back in. Now I want the foot to go a little further and then in. A little further. Good. And then in. Out to the right. Bring it back in. Out to the left. Good. Bring it back in. One more to each side. Did I mention you can do this from your elbows? Did I mention you could do this from your knees? Stay in the middle. Send your hips up to the ceiling. Nice work, guys. Walk your feet up to your hands and transition into your forward bend. Drop your head. Drop your hands. And then just like we did way at the beginning of the class, grab your elbows. Or take your hands to the back of your head. Just very gently let your head hang. Let your arms hang.